Hello, good evening. This is Jane Nasirumbi in Uganda, and I would like to discuss the issue concerning parenting or parenting a child whose other parent is a narcissist. We all know that parenting is a joy. It's supposed to be a joy because when these kids are given to us, it's a gift from the universe or from God. It's a gift, and therefore we are supposed to cherish it. But we all know that whenever a narcissist is in the mix, be sure there is going to be some negativity. You know, they are the bringers of the darkness. They'll bring darkness to a place that is supposed to be all sunshine. Yeah. So when a child comes into life, we are all supposed to celebrate and all that. But the narcissist could choose to make sure this is a moment that you dread. Yeah, you're supposed to celebrate the child, but the narcissist sprinkles their sadness and their anger and all their negativity to this precious thing. Now, who is a narcissist? A narcissist is a person whose ego is so inflated that they feel very superior to others. Yeah. So because of that inflated ego, they have a very deep need to control others. When they relate with others, they need to control and dominate the people in their lives. And they lack empathy. So narcissists are usually in relationships to control, dominate, or to use this person for their selfish gains, for their other selfish gains. And because they lack empathy, they don't care who they have to step on to achieve whatever they need to achieve. And this could also be their children. Yeah, so narcissists are known for living a track record of heartbreak. Yeah, of heartbreaks. So they leave so many people along the way. As they run into the sunshine there, they have so many body counts behind them. Now, when it comes to parenting with a narcissist, you may do it together with them, as in you raise a family together with them, or you may be one of the people who has a child with a narcissist without necessarily being married to them, or you were once married to them and then you had children and then you had to go separate ways because the relationship could not go ahead. Now, when you are in the family within a home with a narcissist and you are raising children, there are so many things that could happen. One of them, they could always undermine your rules, the rules that you're trying to give your children, by which you're trying to raise your children, can always be negated by the narcissist. As you are insisting that the children should be eating this and not that, the narcissist will go ahead and make sure the children are eating what you don't want them to eat. It could be indulging them with sweets and sugars and all that, things that they know are not healthy. The narcissist will always make sure they are sweets and soda and all that. Maybe you are insisting that your children should be going to bed at a certain hour. The narcissist will always make sure that the children are kept awake during that time, actually encouraging what you are discouraging. And maybe you are also insisting on certain, you are trying to control certain programs on TV. We all know that TV has so much, and some of the things are not healthy for the children. For instance, there is violence, it can be pornography. And the narcissist is always doing what they know you don't want to expose, giving the children access to what you don't want them exposed to. Yeah. Another way a narcissist can undermine you is by belittling you before your children, hurling insults at you, or even talking ill about your family of origin, maybe your parents or your other siblings, or you personally before the children, sometimes in your presence or in your absence. They are doing things that undermine you. So the children may either, depending on how well adjusted the child is, the children may learn to also disrespect you, or they may also learn to detest the narcissist, depending on how well adjusted they are. And then another way a narcissist can choose to belittle you before the parents, before the children. They can do it by pitting the children against you. How do they do this? How could they do this? Maybe they give a lot of money to the children, well knowing that probably you don't have access to a lot of money. They could just decide to be giving your child more pocket money than they know you have. Yeah, so the child feels richer than their parent. Yeah, and then sometimes picking arguments with you before the children. That is another way a narcissist can undermine your authority before the children. And then another issue that could happen is a narcissist could pull children into your fights as adults, so that they force children to take sides. Yeah, they want their children to choose between mom and dad, who is best. Yeah, things that are not supposed to happen in a child's life, because you are both the child's parent. And then we have the issue where you have decided, or where after maybe you realize that the marriage cannot work out for whatever reasons, and with the narcissist that is almost a given. Now when you choose to leave the narcissist, they could decide to fight dirty in court, so that they take away the children from you. And now when they choose to fight dirty and succeed to take the children from you, then they could engage in parental alienation. This is where the parent who is in the child's life decides to color the other parent evil, or to make the other parent to make the children hate the other parent. Either they could decide that to tell the children that that other parent doesn't love you, he abandoned you, he neglected you, and all that kind of thing. They always find ways to make sure that you never meet up with the children, as they are brainwashing them into hating you. Sometimes they could even go ahead to tell the child that you are dead when you are actually still alive. Or they could say that all kinds of things. They could say you are a witch, so the children learn to hate you. And then if the narcissist has not taken the children, they could let you go your way with the children. Now when you go with the children, the narcissist in most cases may choose to not give you any financial support. Remember, usually narcissists have access to money. Somehow that is one strength that most narcissists have. They know how to navigate in the corridors of power, and they normally have access to money, so they can afford to have a comfortable life within their homes. And now when you choose that you no longer want to live with them, they withdraw that financial support. And remember, sometimes narcissists have a way, because their relationships are normally for control. A narcissist can easily lure you into, or convince you to not build a career for yourself. So you realize over time, after spending so many years with them, all you know is being a stay-at-home mom, and you don't have any skills to make your own money. So when you want to leave, you are still dependent on them for their money, and this is when they choose they're not going to give you money. Much as it's not safe for you to stay with them, but still it's like not affordable for you to leave. But if you have a supportive family of origin, then maybe you have something to fall back on. But remember, narcissists are very clever, and when they get close to your family or to people in your circle, they try to draw them in. Bit by bit, they draw them into their side, yeah, into their circle. They could bribe your family by giving them very expensive gifts or that kind of thing, giving them money and all that. So when you want to leave, you may find that your family is no longer comfortable for you to go to, because they will be the people insisting that you shouldn't leave the marriage because this is a wonderful person. Why are you leaving the person? That all that kind of thing. So this is why it's also important to keep your social network, yeah, to keep your friends close, just in case something happens. You have friends. If you are lucky, you should be having friends who know you, yeah, friends who know everything, almost a lot about you, that they know your personality and they trust you in a certain, they know you in a certain light, that no matter how much smear campaigns the narcissist may put up against you, these people know you and they will be ready to take you in case things fall apart. Now, when you decide to leave the narcissist, be prepared. In most cases, if it's a legal marriage, be prepared for a very tough legal battle, because narcissists do not fight to lose. They fight to win, and they fight dirty. They'll prepare all sorts of people, even people you've never seen can come up as witnesses against you. These are what we call flying monkeys. So when a narcissist wants to lose a battle, wants you to lose the children to them, they may parade people who are going to pretend that the narcissist is the most wonderful of parents. Yeah. Now, when you happen to finally get away with your children, the things that you should always consider, you have to make sure that you have all the proper legal documentation. You need to get sole custody of the children, because you never know what may happen along the way. And when you need a narcissist to consent regarding this, as far as decisions regarding the children, the narcissist may be nowhere to be seen. They are very good at playing hide and seek. They are very good at denial, and they are very good at lying and even going completely ghost. So remember, when you are separating with the narcissist, you have to make sure that you are overwriting any need for them to ever be required to sign against any documentation as far as decisions concerning your children are concerned. A case I could give would be international travel. Embassies usually insist on you having parental consent before a child can be allowed to travel across borders. Now, if you have a need to go out of the country, for instance, you've got a job outside your country of residence or of origin, and then you need to look for a narcissist, because before you can travel with your child, you realize how futile that can get, or how problematic that can get. And then sometimes it could be health issues, and then you need to take the child outside of the country of domicile for health, for health issues. Yeah, it could be better health care in a country other than the where you live, and the child cannot be allowed to leave the country unless the other parent has consented. So you realize, fellow parents, how important it is to have all your documents in place. And the legal system is not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. You may think that it will be easy to run into a lawyer and get a lawyer to do this and that. But once you start the process, this is when you realize how complicated the whole system is. First of all, getting a lawyer who is acquainted with your particular case is one challenge. And then having that lawyer get a date, a court date when your case can be dealt with is also another issue. So you realize there can be delays or unnecessary delays which may bring you either to lose your opportunities or to have to sacrifice. Maybe you need to leave the children behind, yet actually the children need you. And it's not always that everyone has the chance where they have a family or a network of friends to fall back onto in case they need to leave the children behind. Yeah. So please, you should always remember to work this out. And then another thing that could happen when you've been living with the narcissist and now you have to stay with the children and the other parent has decided to ghost them, there are going to be psychological issues with the children, because remember, much as the other parent was cruel and all that, the children somehow are attached to them. So you have to be able to step in and love them double and reassure them that you are there and all will be well. And then you also know that the world we live in, there are stereotypes. For instance, there are families that are considered to be normal. And when you leave your narcissist, now it means you are going in a family that is considered not normal, because that is a single parent family. These are things that are even emphasized in school. Children are taught at home there is mommy, there is daddy and all that. But at home with the child now, there is probably only mommy or only daddy. Now, these are things that you should be prepared to deal with. Always remind your child that they are normal and there is nothing abnormal about your family. It's only that it's a family blessed to have one parent and moving on. Yeah. And then another issue that would happen is you may find that you need to companionship. You need to move on and maybe get another person, which is a normal need. Yeah, it is normal and it is fine. It's okay and it's a good thing if you find someone to settle with, someone who really understands you, understands you, who gets you. But when you have children and the other parent is a narcissist, chances are there is something about you that keeps attracting narcissists. So you have to be very careful. Before you just move on to the next relationship, you have to heal the wounds that attracted the narcissist in the first place. And then you have to be very considerate this time, because you know, now you're not getting into a relationship with a person for just you. There are other people coming along, which means you have to make sure you're not attracting predators, and you have to take your time to study people before you bring them close to the child. Otherwise, you may expose children to harm's way. You may put them in harm's way. And then another thing, the narcissist could choose to wake up and say they want the children. After disappearing for long, eventually they turn up, they say, now I want to be in the lives of my children. One thing we know about narcissists, they rarely stay alone. You know, they always want someone in their life. Now, if they are going to keep or to take the child, there's one thing we should all know. We don't know the new partner in the narcissist's life. Sometimes they have a tendency of picking partners who are equally sadistic as them, which means the children would be exposed to a lot of cruelty between the stranger parent, step parent, and then the real parent. Or the real parent may just not be there to defend them, because you know, if a parent has neglected their child, then it means if the child was in their care, they wouldn't even be bothered to take care of their needs. So, which means the children are exposed to a person who may do them harm. Yeah, here in Uganda, we had a case of Sebanga, the late Sebanga, may God rest his soul. May his soul rest in peace. He was abused by a step parent, and the father was also living in the home, but the boy was starved only to near death. Yeah, and then we also had the case of Aisha Nabukira, who is Right now, she's sort of a celebrity. She's known, well known at least. And she was also mistreated, yeah, by a step parent. And the other parent was also in the home. You realize all those cases, it's because such issues as narcissism and psychopathy are things that we people don't have not got a lot of education about. So it's more of a trial and error thing. Most of us just stumble into these kinds of relationships, or we've lived in families that are like that without knowing. So when the narcissist shows up and they want to take the child, be aware that anything could go wrong, and your child's life could be at stake. Yeah. And then another thing that we should remember, because narcissists tend to have children here, there, and there, you know, like being around the world, and I've got many babies. So because the narcissist has many babies, many children, these babies grow and they grow into adults. So you, as the normal parent who knows this about the parent to your child, you have to caution your children, because the possibility of incest when they grow up is the chances of incest are high, because they don't know all their siblings. First of all, because they haven't grown with the other parent, they don't know the other family. So they could run into their cousins, first cousins, and date, or they could date their real siblings from the other parents. So you should get close to your children and caution them, tell them about what's going on. And then I think we shouldn't be shy. The children should learn about narcissism, so that they themselves can learn the different traits, so that maybe they can learn to navigate. Yeah. And then we should also prepare them, just in case the other parent shows up. They should know how to handle or how to protect themselves, you know, the survival guide of living with a narcissist. Yeah. With that, I'm closing, and I suggest that please like, share, and subscribe my channel. And I remain yours, Jane. May God bless you. Please put your comments also. Put your comments. I know there is more to explore concerning this topic or this issue. Let us share, and together we can make a better world. Bye.